Alright, I'm going to document fraud committed by the U.S. Postal Service. Here is an item I sold on eBay. It was a lot of 2 thermometers, just ordinary electronic thermometers. Someone in Attleboro, Massachusetts purchased it. The item total, as you can see, is $18.04. And when I click on View Tracking, right-clicked instead. Here we go. So it should be visible on, I'm using an iPhone here to record it. So it was sent on whatever day. It was sent on May 10. No, it was sent before that. It was sent the next day after it was, sold on May 5. So it was sent on May 6. Or if May 6 is a Sunday, it was sent on, I could look it up. Let's see what, I guess it was sent on May 6th then, which is just a Wednesday. So if you look through this ridiculous tracking, it shows how May 9, I guess, tracking number provided. No, that's not true. It was a sticker. It wasn't even a printed out label. But so it says May 9 at 11:38. That must be when they first scanned it or something. May 10 goes to Seattle. Yeah, it couldn't have gotten to Seattle that fast. So it starts off in Vancouver, Washington, and on May 10, it's in Seattle, and then it's in Kent, Washington, and then it's in Seattle, Washington Network Distribution Center again. It's a sort facility. Out for delivery in Seattle, Washington, even though it's going to Attleboro, Massachusetts. And then Seattle, Washington Network Distribution Center again. And then Kent, Washington. And then Seattle, Washington Distribution Center. And then out for delivery again in Seattle, Washington. It's actually Shoreline, Washington. But I guess it's a suburb, so it's not showing that. When I spoke to someone at the U.S. Postal Service, they said that the shipping, the tracking sticker, it's just this tracking sticker. I got a bunch of them from USPS.com, and they said that sometimes there's a bug in the system, and they get assigned to some random address, as if they're a printed shipping label and not just a tracking sticker. So even though I had a handwritten address to Attleboro, Massachusetts, in their computers it was going to some address in Shoreline, Washington. And so this is why it's going back and forth multiple times. Now May 16, transit to next facility, and then Seattle, Washington again. And then out for delivery, and May 18 is the last entry. That's when it just disappeared. Now, that is what it says in eBay. And if I go to view order details, let's see. Here we go. Show shipping details. It says in transit, see full tracking history. It says the same thing, just slightly more good looking, and it doesn't have the actual tracking number here. That's all the tracking information as it appeared. And this was all available at USPS.com. But guess what? When I complained about it, view tracking, we will copy this tracking number right here. Let's see what happens when I put it into USPS.com, shall we? USPS.com. Tracking number. Paste. Enter. And now, what does it say? It says label created, not yet in system. Here's what happened when I complained and showed them how their ridiculous treatment of my package was what was happening. They deleted the tracking information from their own website to hide what they did. Let's go back to eBay. I'll show you the tracking, the order details again. So this is the address. It was probably on the screen already. So Beverly, maybe I shouldn't, it's not doxing. It's not like there's anything to be ashamed of. This is just the customer. And this is the person who should have gotten her thermometers, but she didn't, because, it's clearly going to, an address in Massachusetts. It's not going to something in Seattle, Washington, or Shoreline, Washington. Here, let me show you the if I can find it, the tracking stickers. There's not much lighting here. It's just one of these tracking stickers. It's like, it's just like this. There's no address on here. Hello, kitty. There's no address on them. She's really interested in what I'm doing, as cats often do. All right, so there's no address here. It's just a tracking sticker with a tracking number, and I've had a lot of these, over time. Here's let's see if I can find the right one. Tailor-made 420. It's after this. Here we go. Beach. Right here. This one right here. That's the one. Sent on May 9, 2020. You can see the tracking number. And it was just a tracking sticker, just like any of these. Didn't have an address on it. It was just this barcode, which they're supposed to scan. And it's not supposed to be assigned to some specific address in Shoreline, Washington, or some random place in the country. But that's what they did. And it was sent not even to the right state. And when I complained about it online, their response was to delete the tracking information from their records, to hide what they did. That is the fraud committed by the U.S. Postal Service. I have proof of it. It's right here. And when I went to the post office to complain about it, the Caples, 2700 Caples Avenue post office in Vancouver, Washington, they looked up their tracking information, saw that tracking data not in system, and accused me of lying. Said that I just made it all up. That I never sent anything. According to their records, it doesn't exist. Well, that's very convenient. I'm sure they just sent the package to Atlanta, Georgia, to auction it off for their own profit, like always, because that's what they do. Whenever there's some item that they've gotten away with wrestling away from where it should go, that's what happens to it. It ends up going to Atlanta, Georgia, where they get to profit off of your stuff. They just auction it off as if it was an eBay item. So want to go to Atlanta, Georgia, and buy their their stolen property that they're auctioning off. I'm sure that's the story of it almost every time. But there you go. I wanted, I made this video just because I didn't really know how to, if I were to get through to the postmaster in Vancouver, Washington, I wasn't going to let them have the eBay user ID and password to sign in on eBay to prove to them that this package was actually sent in USPS property and that they deleted the tracking information. So I figured I'd make a video showing signing into eBay, or I was already signed in, I figured I'd show a video of showing the tracking information as it appears in eBay. It was obviously, I can't hack eBay. I'm not a hacker at all, but this is eBay showed, eBay's system accepted the data when it was updated by USPS, and when USPS deleted it from their own websites, eBay still had it. So that's why it's still sitting there in eBay. Of course, the eBay item will only exist for 3 months total, and then they'll delete it. But I've caught it on video, so now we can, there's the proof.